Patty and I went to Salt Point and we went camping up there, and we had a beautiful spot. After 3 days, we found out that there was a special activity down at Fort Ross. It was the Russian Festival. So we went and left Salt Point, which you can see here. But we were just hanging out by the seals. And of course we saw some deer over there while just hiking around the hills. But finally made it over to Fort Ross. And they had a whole day of activities there on the list. Some singing, dancing, and food. Even the volunteers got into the dress-ups. And plenty of books on about Russia and the Russian heritage. We also had a small display of Indian foods, and natives also describing some of the life we had there at Fort Ross. So finally we got to the actual fort. So here you see one of the corner turrets, and a full display of a variety of foods that would have been eaten in a period of time. And several other displays were there, such as tinsmiths. And we had wood carvers. And even someone sharpening his knife. Okay, go ahead. What are you doing?
Sharpening a knife.
And how does it work? So tell me, how do you tell it's sharp?
Just tell it. Try it.
So it has a certain feel?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Sharp.
And some blacksmiths were showing us what they do too.
And what I would like to do before I do any intermediate bends is go to the other end and make the same type of paw back here. Then I can do my intermediate bends and I'm finished. But
several folks and even the kids got dressed up for the display, and we heard Russian language all over the place, both from the folks that were entertaining and displaying, and also from the regular folks. There was many activities there with the firewoods, the fires, and then the foods. It was all wonderful displays by many people.
We're sewing this broom to flatten it, because if you don't, then otherwise they don't, it's impossible. Well, then you have a cobweb sweeper instead of a flattener. But I'm just sewing it up to flatten it. You put it in the press, and then gotta keep it nice and tight, or you're in trouble if you don't do that. But I've done one row, and now I'm going to do another one, so that it'll be, it'll be more usable broom.
And here they're making a rope from twine.
There's a little piece of paper, so you can wrap it. Wrap the candles when you're done. You want to make one?
We can use this for light tonight when we're camping.
Hi, give me one.
Hand-spun weaving was on display.
You ready? So I'm carding wool fiber to loosen it up, get the fibers going in the same direction, have the stickers fall out so it makes it easier for me to spin.
And interesting musical instruments with a little Scottish flair. One of the most interesting features of the Russian festival was the singing and dancing in full costume, and they invited several of the visitors to come in and dance with them. We went to the chapel to hear the Slavyanka Russian male choir from San Francisco. The Hudson Bay Company also had several tents on display with their volunteer exhibitors, and we saw everything from saddles to cloth making to various skins from trapping, and heard several good stories while we were there. We finished off listening to the boom of the rifles and cannons, and then had a final shot looking at the kayaks, Russian kayaks down at the bay.